Okay, welcome to the games men and women play. We're doing this show to touch on different relationship issues and dating, pretty much, right? So I have my friend here, Dennis, that is going to discuss.
Yeah, I'm the expert.
Yes.
When they bring animals in, the expert, kangaroo guy comes in, I'm the expert guy that comes in. So
Yeah.
I promise to be as honest and respectful as possible. And this all started out because we're on Instagram. Rockcliff's her brother. Me and Rockcliffe have a thing going on where we do videos and interviews and stuff like that. And she had posted something on Instagram and a snippet of it. And I never, I like a couple of her stuff, whatever, never made direct contact with her until that because the whole gist of it was this gentleman was trying to pick her up, but it was in such an unorthodox way. I had to give her a call and say how hilarious it was and tell me about that moment. And then we started talking about the guy and girl thing, and I agreed with a lot of things that she had to say. And she decided that let's share it with the world. So here we are.
Yeah, you.
So what we're gonna do is we're doing it live so we can answer your questions honestly, and so we might have to speak up a little bit like this.
Yes.
Question. But
I don't see any questions yet.
Yeah.
But you called me out of nowhere. I was like, why is Dennis calling me right now? And he's like, yo, what was that all about? And yeah, it's just, I've had a lot of, weird situations of guys just approaching me. And I mean, aside from that, we both are adults here and have had relationships that might have not worked out or just a lot of games being played. So that's what we're here to talk about, the games that men and women play. I was actually just going to call it the games men play, but you know what? I came to realize it's not only men that are playing games. Yes, indeed.
And so I'm just looking at no questions yet.
Feel
free to ask the
but
questions.
Keep watching.
Okay, so maybe we can pose the first questions out to the public, and
Okay.
I guess what we were discussing before is overall why people play games.
Yes.
And I guess a fundamental thing is people are different places at different times in their life, right? And I think ultimately a blueprint to it is at a certain point your mortality comes in, and you say to yourself, "Do I really want to live like this for the rest of my life by myself?" And then that's what really drives you to make better decisions, responsible decisions.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And a lot of times, too, people also settle for, just being with somebody. And that person ends up not being the person that they thought they were. And that's something that I've personally experienced, just, thinking somebody is someone that they're completely not. And I think that's a lot with you just trying to be somebody that that person wants you to be.
Now, I guess there's different reasons why people break up, but what are some of your major concerns that you feel that are high on the list in terms of the behavior of men?
I don't know if we have enough time. Do we have enough time?
We do.
Sorry. So the question was my concerns of men. Okay. Being faithful is one. Cheating. Okay, that kind of falls hand in hand. Also respect. Just doing and also having goals and ambition, and not just being content with where you are, and also just being in the same, I guess, maybe path that I am. It does help when both parties actually want the same thing, and that's also a concern of mine, because a lot of times, you might be dating somebody and not realize that they don't have the same values as you do. But my main concern with men is being faithful, respectful, having values, and and also a man, I'm not the most religious person, but a man that actually has something that he believes in.
Beyond earthly.
Yes.
Now, how scary is it to date nowadays? Like with all the fear and of the whole list of men making poor decisions, how scary is it?
It is extremely scary out there. It's very scary because, you know what? Aside from a lot of things that you have to worry about, it's scary because there's men and women just talking to whoever,
Mhm.
and you don't know, like they might say that they're just dating you, but then they're out seeing a whole bunch of people. And the other day I read a study that STDs is on the rise in Canada. I mean, a lot of people say like it's pretty common in the United States. I don't know
Yeah.
who's watching out there, but it wasn't as common down here, but now it is. So, and I think that also plays a part in like social media and it just being so accessible
Yes,
to just
yes,
hook
yes.
up with someone like
Yes.
Tinder. You know, like
Yes,
if
yes,
you
yes.
want, you just download the app, and then after you're ready to just do whatever, hook up.
Yeah, or give me your Insta or whatnot, or Facebook, you hook up like that, and it's like, you flirt with each other, so forth, so forth. So there's different avenues or different mediums that you could, people from the other side of the planet, from the Philippines, Russia, there's dating sites, Australia, Jamaica. So there's lots of dating available out there. But from a man's perspective,
Hmm.
I said to be honest, right?
Yes, I want you to be 100% honest here.
From a man's perspective, we don't share the same kind of stress. And I'm speaking for the men around me, the men that I grew up with, so I don't get no negative feedback. But we don't go through the same stress. So if we break up with a female, generally, not everybody, we break up with a female, we don't bear the weight the same way a female does. So 20 relationships in, we're still like, hey, let's date. Versus the female, it's like she's like a POW that collects all that
The
negative
baggage.
information,
Yeah.
the negative, the baggage, the emotional
Yes.
distress, and after the 20 guys, like, she's burnt. so to
Yes.
say,
Yes.
And so we don't carry it the same. So our perspectives are different. So I break up bad relationships, so forth. You just sort of move on, and you don't bear it the same, and you get more angry than emotional. Females get more emotional, and it carries on. And it tickles through your whole life.
Well, that is true. Women are quite emotional, but it's also the things that sometimes men put you through in order for you to be emotional. Like a lot of times they're inconsiderate of your feelings, and then you're left to just think, and then they make you think that you're the problem, or like it's just you're overreacting. But we're emotional creatures, and maybe men might not be as emotional, but you have to also consider someone else's feelings, especially if you're doing things that are going to hurt them. We're going to probably get more hurt than men do, even though I've heard that men do cry in hiding.
It's seriously do. I cry, but not over those things. But so I'm looking at it. I definitely do cry, but not over those things. Whatnot. So I readily admit was one of those guys growing up that wasn't considerate of females' feelings and how they might respond to it, how they might affect them, whatnot. And universally, one of the problems growing up was that in my community, in the black community, we never spoke about girlfriends and having sex back then. We left that to the institution. Like, it's too hard to discuss. So leave it up to the institution and find out on yourself, sort of thing. But usually when you find out things on your own, it's misinformation or not accurate information. So we grew up thinking that it was cool, or that it wasn't such a big thing, especially when the female's making such a big thing. If I didn't call, or I'm talking to another girl, or simple things like that regularly would hurt anybody, would feel disrespectful to anybody, but we just took it as whatever sort of thing. So I was part of the problem growing up. Although I've reached at the age of 46 where I know better, it took a long time to get there. So different men get there at different levels in their life,
Yes.
but we always get there.
And you see,
we always get there.
that is exactly why I invited you to do this with me.
Because honest.
No, you're honest, and you're a mature man. And I also read a study the other day that men don't fully mature until they're 43.
Okay,
And
I didn't know that.
you didn't know that.
Listen, when I was 42, I was like, what am I doing? That's when I started maturing. I was like, what am I doing? So it's just in life in general, because females are generally more mature in life than men. That's why there's so many more successful family units for the longevity, because of the female, not because of male, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why there's not that many, like, there's not that many successful relationships. Like you may think that there's a successful relationship until down the line they get a divorce, which
Yeah.
divorce is on the rise.
Yeah, and that's still like the divine success in a relationship. They don't always work out, but if you have 20 years, you got property, kids, that in the universe, you had a lot of happy moments in between. That's not a failure, I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
It's I guess it's not a failure, but like I personally would not want to be
that's
with
not the
someone
plan to get divorced.
to get
but,
a divorce.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
not the plan,
so
but you know.
it's just like I think these days there's too much games being played. There's too much distractions, and people are not really focused on trying to find that right person and build with them. And that's exactly why I came up with this. So we can put the light on all the games that are being played, and we can, you know, show you guys like what people have gone through. Because I've been through a lot. I'm sure you've been through a lot. And yeah, like there's a lot to be told about
So, I just said that we both agreed that men mature at different levels in their life. And so, when you do meet that guy, are you hard on him because of your past, or do you take him at face value?
Okay, so initially, I think when I broke up with my ex, I no, I think this was a previous relationship I had, and I felt like all guys were the same, and like they every guy cheats and every guy is bad, and there's no good guys out there. But then I met my ex that I broke up with recently, and I thought, you know, there's good men out there.
There's a lot of good men.
I shouldn't feel that way. And, you know, like, this is a guy that's actually treating me good until he proved wrong that that wasn't the case. But even after all of that and what had happened, I realized I can't make my past experiences define my future.
Yeah,
and
definitely so. And define his future, more importantly.
yes, that the previous guy played.
Like, and and so you have to find a balance, because you could be mindful. You could say, you know, if he asks you out, you know, the third night in, and you're like, the last time I went the third night in, this happened, so this time I'm not. That's okay, I think. Where I think it's bad is where you react to something that he did that happened from your past, and he gets consequence for it.
Oh my God, you know that happened?
That's what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You said be honest, right?
You know that happened to me before.
We're trying to read the questions here.
Okay, what do you say?
I had a whole period of that same thing. Ex gusto. Yes, thank you for shouting
period
out.
oh, okay. Well, sometimes you just gotta move past it.
Still have biases. Yes, understandably, and that's the hardest thing, to get past biases, because your experiences, right? Without experiences, you wouldn't traverse through life, you know, through your experiences. I've experienced this one, to this island on this vacation. I didn't like it. I'm gonna try something else. I know what I like and what I don't like, right? And that's the only thing you have to train yourself, is not everybody the same way. I've been black my whole life, and people have identified me as the same way. In my black community, think I'm a basketball player all the time, whatnot, and in the white community, think I'm a robber and gangster, right? So you can't base off, you know, the experience. You have to base off individual. You know what I'm saying? And I like to think that I'm a nice guy. I've evolved to be a nice guy, and a lot of people have given me chances, so I couldn't hypocritically do the same thing and both examples to somebody else. So I treat everybody at face value, you know, and I give them without being guarded. If I can be guarded all my life, I'm taking away blessings from myself, not meeting that person.
But don't you think it's hard to move past, like, if, you know, somebody's cheated on you and somebody's, like, you know, or maybe abused you, like, and or you're just getting past that?
It's super duper hard for a female, but I'm extremely empathetic when it comes to that female, because I understand that it's difficult, super duper difficult. But men, we don't take the pain, or we don't take the struggle, or, you know what I'm saying? We don't go through the whole process the same way. You know what I mean? We're just built differently, sort of thing. We do pain, we do cry, all those things, right? But we're not built the same way, you know.
And I do also find, like, with some guys that have gone through things, they might not, I know what you're saying by not carrying the pain and, like, you know, different, or carrying it differently, but I find, like, some guys that have gone through things, they have,
Right, so let's talk about okay. I mean, okay. All right, keep going.
Oh, okay. Guys that have gone through things. They have, I caught me off guard. Okay, they have gone. They would be like, they would open their heart up to someone else, and then they'd be closed off to it. and maybe they're waiting for the other girl.
That happens to men a lot because with men, first of all, again, in the black community, my specific Jamaican community, we're not expressive like that. So there's a movement right now, North America wise, anyways, where it's okay to express yourself. It's okay to cry. It's okay to say I love you. It's okay to give hugs. That's why I see my brothers in the road. I'm 46. I didn't think I lived this long. So when I see them, I'm like, what are you doing? I give them a hug. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't get to see that much.
Yeah, that's true.
And so there's two aspects is being male, whatever culture, you know what I'm saying? And then being in the Jamaican black culture or Caribbean culture where it's not, we had no examples growing up on TV for sure, except for the Jeffersons and so forth, right? And it wasn't even that I love you, much better. And then in our immediate family sort of thing. So it's difficult.
Yeah.
Like, we need growing ourselves as well,
I can see what you mean. Like we're really taught on how to, love one another, especially as black men.
Keep talking.
And we're not being and not showing emotion. So I could understand where where you're coming from when you say that you guys may not be as emotional as we are. But I think just men in general are just not emotional too. But like, black.
We're more emotional in terms of aggression.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in the animal kingdom. Females are female species more not dorsal, but able to think things through, sort of thing. And men usually react, angry. I guess the evolution of men to be aggressive, be angry, whatnot, but we just have to have more of a balance with human beings. We're not animals, so we're able to adapt and understand that we're hurting our females and have good conversations, I think that communication is a big key, you know what I'm saying? In all aspects. When you're talking about sex, when you're talking about what we're gonna have for dinner, when we're gonna talk about where you don't want to go for vacation, how you're gonna raise your kids, what do you want in the future. It's just communication done. That way, there's no more guessing at the end. Usually, when you guess, somebody gets hurt.
Yes, it did get spicy.
Yeah, I was reading that. I couldn't read. It's payrollism.
Oh yeah, no, payroll slim.
Payroll slim. Sorry.
Hey, payroll slim.
Spicy. Yeah, how come you guys are answering questions? You got like 5,000
Ask some
followers.
questions, guys. We definitely are here to answer them if you want things to get even more interesting.
This way, the questions you ask, I may not want to ask them too embarrassed, so that way I can speak on it and say you said it. You know what I'm saying? You asked.
But yeah, but actually something just came up. I was just thinking about like, why do guys play games? Like I have had experiences that I feel like a guy's just testing me just to see like what my reaction would be.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Let me be very honest with you. It doesn't matter how pretty the girl is. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what they do for a living, how much money they got, what they don't have, how many kids, whatever. The singularity, I think, is the respect that you have for yourself. So if I meet you for the first day and I'm like, come back to my house, let's have tea, you know what I mean? The first day, you're like, okay. I'm like, probably the girl I'm not going to bring home to mommy. You know what I'm saying? It's reality. If I say come back to my hotel room, you know what time it is. People do that. It's adult stuff. You know what I'm saying? So females, if you do like the guy, you have to give him the pieces.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me that if a girl slept with you, the first time you met her, or like the second time you met her?
First day.
Okay, first day. So she would not be one you're bringing home to mom.
No, because she's lost the test.
She's lost. Oh, that's a test.
It's a test.
That's a test, guys.
So for me. So when you grow up, and especially when I was younger, not now, when I was younger, right? Like 25, 30. Because we're hoping, please don't bite. Please say. And then it's that strength, it's that respect that you have for yourself that will be orchestrated to us. And that's the truth, I'm telling you. So for example, if I say to you, let's not talk about sex. If I say, hey, give me $50, it's the second time we're dating. And we're going out on the date. And I say, can you pay for the dinner? You say, okay. I'm like, she doesn't have that strength. See what I'm saying?
Oh, you asking her if she would pay for the date?
So if I ask you out for dinner and we get down to dinner, it's expected I pay for it. But then I say, can you pay for it? And you say, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though I invited you out.
Yeah.
That's not really gentleman-like. And we say, okay, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I could do this next time. What a time after that. Just like an argument. You know what I'm saying? If I'm pushing you, just like being a pushover. If I'm bullying you and pushing you around and you don't stand up for yourself, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I could do this every day. And that's naturally what happens.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does sound familiar.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's not intentionally. It's just sort of progression versus you put your foot down. Don't call me for a week. Don't call you for a week, and I call you the next day, and you pick up the phone. I'm like, oh, but you said a week, so I already know you don't really mean that. See what I'm saying?
Yes, women do play games, Gusto. The show is the games men and women play.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just
we're just on this tip right now.
Exactly.
Ask a question.
Oh yes, okay. Well, we can touch on rejection.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we will touch on that. And
yes.
okay, we'll talk about that after, Slim. We don't need to talk about that right now.
Okay, I don't know. We'll talk about rejection
Okay.
first, and then
we'll go into rejection, and you know what? Okay, that is something that I could definitely touch on. But I still wanna talk about this whole game testing thing, like you doing these things to know my reaction, and that's where community.
But I'm saying it's not intentionally.
It's not intentional. What is it? Is it programmed in the brain?
That's what it is. It's programmed. It's like, hey, it's like. Because I have feelings for you, right? Because we're going out, because I'm intimate with you, just like in speech, you know, me calling on the phone. It's like, it's not programmed. It's like, okay, what would you do if? Those are typical questions people ask each other. Like, what would you do if this, that, that? Saying, yeah, not all lions are gonna eat you if you fall in the cage. You know what I mean? But are you gonna take the chance? You know what I'm saying? So it's a part of it, and it's a necessity I feel in a relationship, and you know, that's just the way it is.
Being around each other does help. Like, okay, being around somebody it helps a relationship, and that I think what is the issue with long distance relationships, because you can't be with the person. But that's why we have FaceTime. Okay, that's why we have FaceTime, and that's why we have.
Whoever wrote that, you know, it's not the same. It's not the FaceTime. It's not the same. It's not.
And then you make time to see that person. I mean, if you decided to be with that person, that means you made some kind of commitment that you want things to
100%.
somewhat work. Right. So if you're like, you can't entirely leave it to just FaceTime and phone calls. Yeah, you have to go visit that person and make time to see them. And I believe a long distance relationship is going to work when one party decides that they're going to make a move, or both parties are going to make a move to be together. Because you can't be long distance relationship forever. Right. Like I understand.
Yeah, I understand. But even for a duration of a couple of years, that's like a long time in a long distance relationship. I know some people that have been in one that don't see their like every year in the summertime.
I think sometimes that works, because sometimes you see somebody all the time, you just like sick of them, like so.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. As a female, you should say, hey, you know what? I don't want to see all that stuff that much. Yeah. And if you live in the city, and that's what I mean, like stand your ground. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
But like, so are you saying that a long distance relationship does not work because the lack of intimacy?
No, not just a lack of intimacy, physical intimacy. The lack of touching, the lack of being in each other's presence, that energy that you feel. You know what I'm saying? All that gets eliminated. Even just to know I'm having a barbecue, my family come over on Saturday, I'm not even gonna ask you because I already know you're not gonna come. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And so it takes away a whole chunk of what could be if that intimate relationship, not just sexual, but just in person. Yeah. Right? And your dreams of, okay, I want to go here, I want to go to a movie. You can't just do that anymore. And I feel lonely in this moment, and there's no one to nurture my loneliness because you live all the way over there.
Yeah, and then after you're gonna go find some hoochie mama to go sleep with.
That's what girls say. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just about that with men either, because men want to have a conversation with females as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would only be temporary. Like, eventually you're going to see that person, be with that person. If you're carrying on a long distance relationship and you don't have the goal to actually like be with that person in the same country, be with that person so you guys are together and not having to talk through a phone, then it's not going to work. At least I don't think so.
So I was going to say that too, Jude.sv. Plus your surroundings, you're surrounded by options, and your significance is mad far away, which is right. Like, you have so many options around you. I'm like, man, like, it is hard, especially when you're in need. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you know what I'm going to say about that? It doesn't matter if you're long distance. It doesn't matter, because man that cheat, regardless if they're long distance. Yes, I'm talking in Jamaican accent because I feel very passionate about this. Yes, men cheat and women do too. But men cheat on a huge other scale. And that's going to be another topic for another show, because cheating, like, that's something that we could talk about probably for the next 24 hours. But I'll tell you this, I at least know this. Men are cheating on a higher scale than women.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay?
You're right.
And women are cheating, but they're cheating smart. Okay?
Yeah, you're right,
And it's
you're right.
disrespectful if you're cheating and you're leaving evidence out there for the woman. At least fucking hide what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking
you're right.
be smart about it. Like, let's be real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but at least respect the woman that you're with, and don't let her know the fucking bitches that you're with. Shit, man.
Women are more disrespectful. Yeah, because men don't do it
So much
purposely.
I'm
Men just
bleeping.
do it, opportunity, instinct, whatever you want to call it. Like they're not smart, whatever. They just do it just because of the gratification. Women use it as a tool. You know what I'm saying? Men don't, in general, sleep with somebody and then tell the females. Females will do that. I fight. You know what I'm saying? To make find out whatever. To use it as a tool as I.
Okay, so
we just got to try and wrap up. I like that.
gotta wrap up.
Okay,
So,
so that's it.
This
man.
was an
That's it.
introductory.
We were looking up there too. Sorry, we forgot about you.
Honestly, it's the first episode, and just, stay tuned. There's gonna be more episodes. There's gonna be more guests, and I'm definitely gonna have Dennis on as a regular. And yeah, just stay tuned, guys. This is gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be a very nice, journey for everybody to be a part of. And I want questions. You guys, like, if you have any questions
And comments, and
yeah.
you can correct what I'm saying, what her saying. It's freedom of speech, so feel free if you disagree with that. Explain why, so we could, share the wisdom, educate ourselves.
Okay, and if you want to, you can go on our Instagram, but I'll promote it better next time. The games men and women play, okay?
And you can post your questions on the Instagram site.
Yeah.
Usually get that shortly. You can post your questions. You can stick us on the next time.
Yeah, just DM me the questions or go to the Instagram. The games men and women play, but there's a lot coming. I just kind of came up with this, the last 2 days.
Yeah, that's true.
Yo, let's do it.